Live now? I think I'm live now. Yeah. Derek came with the lane now. Make sure everything is good. Let me get my drink of water. How y'all doing today? Don't mind me. Took my pre-workout today. So right after this, I'm going to start my workout. And also, too, don't forget down below in the description, I'll go ahead and put it up in the chat right now. The Fade podcast will be recording Week 16 recap going on to the last week of the regular season. We'll be recording that very shortly. So I'll go ahead and put it. Bye, everybody doing today. Hope everybody's doing good, Patriots fans. And once I get this started, once I get this going, we're gonna be in there. So get that. All right. Boom, boom. All right. Well, yeah, y'all. What's up, YouTubers? But a great picture here, DGP, back again with another live stream, y'all. Yes, we're not going to video today. Got stuff to do. We're going to live stream it right here, man. Talking about the Week 16 game, the Monday night game that just happened between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. If this is your first time to the stream, first time to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Leave a like on the video. And we're here to talk about what happened in the Patriots game and what we saw. So, interesting fact from ESPN: this is the first game since like 2001, 2002, where we played a game that didn't have, playoff implications, like 2008, even though we didn't make the playoffs then, week 17, it came down to us and the Ravens. Had the Ravens would have lost that game, then we would have been in the playoffs. And when 2002 came down to the end, we had a shot at the playoffs. So this was the first time that I could say in my whole Patriot fandom that this game really didn't matter in terms of, postseason and seeding and everything. This is the first time. So there's a lot of firsts this year. And being that this was the first time in the whole dynasty, it's sure enough like we played like, wait, man, we played terrible. The offense, though, started off pretty good. The offense started off well. We played with some up-tempo, no huddle-style offense. We didn't have no Damian Harris, Stephon Gilmore, which I did a video on it last week, but for some reason YouTube keeps blocking it. So I may just release that for New Year's Day, just have that video out there. But, yeah. But Stephon Gilmore, he's out for the season, man. Damian Harris didn't play. Julian Edelman was slated to come back Week 16, but with us not making the playoffs, there's no point bringing it back, so he's not playing. So we go out there, and the team play like trash. After the first 5 minutes or so, team play like trash. Excuse me. Offense, like I said, started out pretty good. Sonny Michel had a nice couple runs, man. The offensive line was blocking. Joe Thuney had a vicious block down the field and everything. And then we did kind of not really a flea flicker, just kind of a sweep to Sonny Michel. He throws it back to Cam Newton, throws it up to Demir Byrd, wide open, hit him in the hands, and drops it. We got to hand him set up for three on that drive right there. We end up settling for three. Nick Folk bangs it in, but that right there, Byrd catches at the 3-yard line. I'm pretty sure he gets in if you see the play, but Demir Byrd, man, cost us 7 points, man, so we had to settle for 3. And right there, I was like, you know what? This is the beginning of the end for this game. Buffalo Bills came out, no Stephon Gilmore, so J.C. Jackson was covering Stephon Diggs, and he torched him, man. Stephon Diggs torched him. He's one of the best receivers in the game. He's playing, like, you can argue he's having the best season for a receiver this year right now, leading the league in receptions and yards and everything, similar to Michael Thomas last year, just saying. But yeah, man, Stephon Diggs been playing out of his mind, and, with no Stephon Gilmore there, man, Jackson lit it up. And somebody, shout out to my guy Dime, shout out to Juju in the chat. Somebody, my guy Dime, I remember on our podcast, I wasn't there for the episode, but it was about a month ago or so. He said J.C. Jackson was playing better than Stephon Gilmore. And I felt like it was mostly just off because J.C. Jackson has a lot of interceptions. That was one of his selling points. He's like, how many interceptions does Gilmore have? And in order for you to get interceptions, you got to get the ball thrown your way. They don't throw the ball Gilmore's way. J.C. Jackson, with Gilmore being out this year, with COVID or injury, Stephon Gilmore still made the Pro Bowl this year with J.C. Jackson. Some people said, why is that happening? J.C. Jackson, as a number one corner without Stephon Gilmore to help him out, has given him about 4 or 5 touchdowns this year. Gilmore, his whole Patriot career, has only given up 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns for Gilmore basically his whole career. J.C. Jackson's given up 4 as just the number one corner, guarding the best matchup. So Hey, look, I love J.C. Jackson. He's a great number 2 corner. One day I think he could be a number 1, but there's levels to this, y'all. There's levels to this, man. J.C. Jackson was getting torched by Stephon Diggs, man. And the defense, after some point in time, you just break, man. Cam Newton didn't play the best, but actually, I would say this. The stats don't show Cam Newton playing the best, but I think this is probably one of Cam Newton's best performances that he did individually himself. This is one of his best performances. I mean, the bird dropping the pass, receivers not getting as open as they should. And he did make the right pre-play reads. He even had a nice scramble touchdown, which I was about to say, Cam, you got to feel that pressure and get rid of it. But he, shrugged it off and was able to get out. A super Cam play was able to give us a little bit of hope. But outside of those, plays and everything, Cam Newton didn't play that well. I think it's individually, I think he played pretty well, but just the team is not that good, man. This team is awful. The fact that we got to 6 wins right now is a credit to Bill Belichick and his genius. Yeah, man, this team is bad, man. Gilmore, yeah, man, Jude. I try to tell people, man, Gilmore, bro, like you don't hear his name often. He's not the flashy, Jalen Ramsey. He's not saying Jalen Ramsey flashy, but Jalen Ramsey talks a lot. He talks. That's how you get his name on there. Stephon Gilmore, he just comes in and does his job, man. I mean, and the one time he does get cooked, it's a Week 17 game against Devontae Parker. That was like probably the only time, and the first time he faced DeAndre Hopkins. That's probably the only time I've seen Stephon Gilmore get cooked, like destroyed. And most of the time it's man coverage too. So, Jarrett Stidham comes in the game, and I told y'all this in my last stream. I said this after we got eliminated. If Jarrett Stidham does not start Week 16, that tells me everything I need to know. I already thought that he wasn't that good, but that just confirmed to me that Belichick doesn't think he's the answer. We're out of playoff contention. There's no reason for Cam Newton to still be at the quarterback right now unless you're thinking that you're trying to bring him back next year. Or again, Bill Belichick's main thing is I'm trying to win football games. If he feels like Cam Newton at this point with no playoffs and all that stuff, you see what Cam Newton's going to do. You still feel like Cam Newton is your best bet to win? That lets me know everything about Jarrett Stidham. Stidham isn't the guy. He comes in, it just looks awful. Now, hopefully he gets to start Week 17. But one thing, and I said I don't want to do this to him. I didn't want him to start just Week 16, 17 because it's only a 2-week sample size. It's at the end of the year. It's kind of hard to determine that. So if he does start Week 17, good or bad, I can't really take it too much. Look into. I mean, I'm gonna have to look into it, but I can't really hold it too much against him. But I mean, my verdict is already out on him. He's not a starting quarterback, and if he is a starting quarterback, he's Ryan Fitzpatrick-esque at best. I'm sorry, not Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's just about the Fitzmagic. He's Case Keenum at best. That's why I see Jarrett Stidham. And again, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Jarrett Stidham has a good career and everything. But, I mean, Case Keenum has a good career. He's been a backup quarterback, for 12, 15 years, and I'm getting $40 million. But I don't think Jarrett Stidham is the answer for us, and that kind of just shows us what they're. Looking at our wide receiver performance yesterday was god-awful. N'Keal Harry, where were you? We were looking for you. You've been MIA, first-round pick for what? Yeah. Yeah, but sure. I wonder if it's a stat from Man Cubs when it says it is. It's some stat you probably got to pay for it. But from what I've been seeing, Stephon Gilmore is in man coverage from the beat writers that I follow from New England because they have access to stuff. He's like in man coverage probably about 80 to 85% of the time, and about over half of them he doesn't have like safety over the top help. So it's not like he's playing man coverage and got a safety over the top help. Like no, most of the time he's on an island by himself. And he's just been holding it down, man. So, shout out to Stephon Gilmore. Next year, speaking of Gilmore, and I said this in my video, he's getting paid $7 million next year. He was scheduled for 12, but remember that bonus that we gave him earlier in the season before the season started because we had enough caps for opt-out purposes. We just took $5 million of his salary and just gave it to him there as an advance. So he's only going to be making $7 million next year, which means good thing, bad thing. Good thing is that if we want to trade him, he's very open to, it's easier to trade him with a $7 million corner for the best corner in the league, although it'll be a 1-year deal. But I feel like if he wants to play next year, he's going to ask for a pay raise, and it's well-deserved. If he wants to get paid $15, $20 million, it's well-deserved. And, I hope the Patriots pay him. But just knowing Belichick, he's probably going to try to get rid of him. He's in trade rumors this season. He's probably going to try to get a second-round pick for Stephon Gilmore. I mean, if you are that elite team, if you think that you're right there, the best corner in the game, why not go out there and get it for 1 year, man? Deion Sanders did that. We did it with Darrelle Revis. Yeah, man. So This team, man, is not that good. And this honestly is the first time I'm actually experiencing like kind of a downhill climb. I mean, like last year, I said we weren't going to win a championship, and that was the Super Bowl, and that was the first time in my whole Patriot time, my whole Patriot fan of my whole life, that I said that I didn't feel like we were going to win a Super Bowl. I said we had a shot because of Brady and Belichick, but realistically, I didn't see us winning the Super Bowl last year. I actually said we was going to lose to the Titans week 1 in the wild card. People called me crazy. They said I was hedging, and look what happened. I was right. And then this team this year, man, I honestly don't know what to say, man. Yeah, this was the end. This is the end of the dynasty that people have predicted for us since 2011, 2012. Since 2012. I would say 2012. I'll say 2012. Because I think that was the game that 2014 was the game that the infamous Trent Dilfer were not good anymore. So around 2013, 2014, they said this was going to be the end, and they kept saying it next year, 2 years. They kept prolonging it, and if you keep saying next year, eventually you're going to be right. So yeah, man, this team is not that good. Do I feel like Cam Newton should be the quarterback for us next year? Nah. Go ahead, let Cam go somewhere else. Hopefully, you can maybe Chicago or something. I don't know. Just have Cam somewhere else besides here. And it's nothing against Cam. He didn't do nothing terrible. You know, he didn't say anything negative. He didn't say anything bad. I just would preferably try to get a younger quarterback where you can have some hope to try to build around or something. Or you go ahead and get a guy like a Carson Wentz or something like that. Carson Wentz, something like that, where they're not necessarily young. I mean, they got a contract, but you kind of know what you're getting. And plus, if Carson Wentz comes to us, I mean, he's just throwing ass receivers. So, hey, fit in right there with us. Nikhil Harris, you've been a no-show for 2 quarterbacks. You were there 8 games last year. You only had about 400 yards. This year, it's cut down even in half. And I know we haven't had the best passing offense, but don't mind the sign. Sorry, I live in the hood, but it's bad, man. It's bad. And I'm not trying to bash Cam because not all of it's on him. You know, the receivers hasn't been the best and everything. But when you only have, as a starting quarterback in the NFL, playing 15 games in 2020, mind you, if your stats, you have 5 passing touchdowns, 5 passing touchdowns in 15 games with 10 interceptions, 5 passing touchdowns. I'm gonna have to look this up, but I don't. This if Cam Newton, and granted he missed the game, so 14. Excuse me. If Cam Newton doesn't play week 17, 5 passing touchdowns for a starting quarterback in 14 games, like I know our receivers ain't bad, but damn, we can't get 10. Can't get 10 pass touchdowns. Granted, he has 12 rushing touchdowns. Great, perfect. You can say, you know, what if somebody had 10, like just 5 passing touchdowns on the season? Like, that's how bad it is, man. That's how terrible it is in New England, bro. That's how bad it is, man. And so I hope next year we're gonna have to spend some money. We're gonna have to go out and get flashy names. You know, we got a lot, and that's the thing too. We got about $80 million in cap, but we have a lot of people that we have to re-sign. James White's a free agent. Joe Thuney's a free agent. I think our David Andrews is a free agent. We have, I think, Hightower maybe up after this year, or Chung's up after this year. Like, we have a lot of free agents with all this cap space, and not everybody's going to have to come back. And so we're going to see what Bill has to offer this next year or two. We're going to see, because he's going to have to draft perfectly. He's going to have to rebuild this thing up. You know, looking at how we were in the 2000s, you know, you got a Brewski, you get a Vrabel, you get a McGinnis, you end up getting a Ty Law, you bring a Rodney Harrison for agency, a Troy Brown, a Deion Branch. You get these pieces, you get Tom Brady, and it all works out perfectly. And, you know, you keep succeeding in everything. You're able to get guys for cheaper from older veterans and stuff. And then you're able to hit more so on these guys that necessarily could be projects, but you're not asking them to do too much. And then with the receivers and everything, you have Tom Brady to mask all that, as long as the defense is pretty solid. This is the first time in like 20 years, Belichick's not going to have to retool or reload. This is the first time in 20 years Belichick has to rebuild the team. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Bill Belichick hasn't, he's done some bad things, I think, in the past in terms of picks that I've disagreed with, but he's been more right than wrong. So we'll see. And credit to the Bills again from yesterday, man. Stephon get digs with the animal. The Bills played yesterday like, I felt like the Bills is like how the whole NFL felt. Like, they was just like, oh, we're tired of the Patriots tired of the Patriots winning. Like, we want to see them lose. And, they called a fake punt, tied them in the first half or something like that. They were up 20, 30 points, and they just kept going for the gusto. And I was like, damn, is this how we did other teams? Like, I apologize if we did this to other teams. I didn't like that, man. COVID camp is real. And that's another thing, too. Maybe, the COVID side effects post-COVID really were an effect on Cam Newton because, Lamar Jackson came on and said he was more tired. Von Miller, before the season started, when he got it back in March, he said he was still feeling the effects. So the COVID effect really could be a serious issue with some of these guys. But, at the end of the day, people don't care about that. All they see is that, number one, they see Newton on the back of your jersey, and they expect you to go out to perform. I know he's banged up. I know the receivers ain't the best. I know the play caller might not be the best. But 5 passing touchdowns, Cam. We just need to do better. We just need to do better. And again, Cam Newton didn't ever said anything wrong. I like Cam Newton. I like his swagger. I like that, even if he's not playing best, he's going to still hold himself accountable. He's still going to try to improve. You can't ask for nothing more. I never felt like Cam cheated me this year. And that's credit to Cam. This season was bad. But yeah, man, Patriots I was really debating on if I really wanted to do this review for the game or not. And I know it went from review to the season. I'm kind of rambling at this point. It's the pre-workout. But there's really nothing to truly dissect or talk about. It's the same thing that's been happening all season in every one of our losses. It's offense is trash. We don't have no receivers to get open. Cam Newton, when we do get receivers open, they either drop it or Cam misses the target. Defense can only hold up so much, and we get tired. If the run game's not there, we lose. It's been the same issue every single game. So there's nothing new, nothing to change here. There's nothing else to say. It's just more so just reviewing how it is. Let's see. Oh, speaking of Lamar, Patriots, what are you going to say to y'all? Hey, look. Hey, relax. They seen that. They ate up bad Lamar. You think Killer Cam's better next year? Nah, I don't think so. Actually, maybe. Depending on if Cam Newton want to come back on like a cheap deal. If Cam wants like a 2-year, 3-year, $30 million deal like Teddy Bridgewater, I don't see Cam Newton coming back. But my hope, I said this, since the season started, after Brady went to the Bucs, I said this. I said, let's tank. Let's get 1-2 wins this year. We can get Trevor Lawrence, or we can get Justin Fields as a consolidation prize. And we didn't do that. We won 6 games. All that 6 games, and we messed up our draft stock. Crazy, ain't it? Y'all be back next year. Just need. See, but here's the thing, though, bro. Like we got sit outs on defense, and that played a part in it too. I said played a part in it too. But we got $80 million of cap. But when you got 2 of your running backs up, you got Patrick Chung, he's available after this year. I think we have a couple other defensive tackles and stuff available after this year. Our best offensive lineman, Joe Thuney, David Andrews, they're up, eligible. Joe Thuney, people don't know this. Our left guard, who's arguably our best offensive lineman, he was playing this year on a franchise tag. A lot of people didn't realize that. He was playing this year on a franchise tag. So, are we going to sign him? And if we sign him, that's $10 million of the $8 million right there that, goes down the drain. Sign David Andrews, the center, that's another $10 million or so like that going down the drain. So now you're looking at it, $50 million to try to get a quarterback, a wide receiver, still replace defense. Like, it's a lot of moving parts. So it really comes down to drafting well. It really comes down to the draft capital. Engraving, what are we doing here? I'd rather have Kyle Bowler than Dwayne Haskins right now. I don't know what he's doing off the field, but Kyle Bowler never would do that. All right, give me Kyle Bowler. Shoot, give me playoff Flacco. I would take Joe Flacco as the quarterback for the Patriots over Dwayne Haskins. If we're gonna do that, at least I know with Joe Flacco, I can get a performance or two out of him in the season. I don't know what I'm gonna get with Dwayne Haskins. I don't know. I don't know, that free workout. Yeah, man, that free workout is crazy, man. That free workout is crazy. But this season, I wouldn't even say humbling, because I've said this before in the past. If we don't win no more, hey, it's fine. Other teams got to win. Let some other people get some shine. But it's honestly, it was a credit to Bill Belichick that we got the 6 wins. Week 17, please, Bill, just start Jarrett Stidham for one game. Don't put Cam out there to take some more unnecessary hits, because it's just making him look worse and worse. And it's not all his fault. Some of it's his fault, but it's not all his fault. Just put Jarrett Stidham out there. Just see what you got with him, even though I think he's not the quarterback of the future. That's why I know he's not the quarterback of the future, but just throw him out there. What? We're going to lose and get a better draft pick. Whoop-de-doo. Wow, so hard, so shocking. I will draft skilled players. Say y'all missed on the previous chat. There's a lot of guards. Look, man, I don't even, like, and here's the thing. I keep saying we got to draft these players, but when it comes to wide receivers, running backs, we good. Quarterbacks, I mean, you get one quarterback and that's it. You get one quarterback. Tight ends, we didn't even draft the tight end last year, so we need a tight end. We haven't had tight ends in 3 years, ever since Gronk retired. So, and even Gronk's last year, he was in and out the lineup. So we haven't had a tight end. Corners, we can draft corners a little bit, hit or miss, or secondaries, I should say. We're pretty decent. Linebackers, pretty good at that. We don't have a pass rusher, and we don't draft wide receivers. The last wide receiver we drafted was N'Keal Harry. The last wide receiver we drafted that was a Pro Bowler, not an All-Pro, a Pro Bowler was Terry Glenn. RIP to Terry Glenn. Julian Edelman, quarterback coming out of college. Then it doesn't count. I'm sorry, and I don't even think Julian Edelman ever made a Pro Bowl. Hold on. I don't think Julian Edelman has ever made a Pro Bowl. I mean, look, I'm like 80%. Yeah, Julian Edelman. So even then, he don't count. I mean, he's one of the clutchest receivers of all time, one of the best playoff receivers of all time, but he has never made a Pro Bowl. That's crazy. Look, man. So DK Metcalf, the carry over DK Metcalf, no. Hey, look, I didn't think DK Metcalf was going to be this good. I always said coming out of college, he had a drop problem, could have run routes. He was a 6th-round pick. If it wasn't for that shirtless pick of him having like 0% body fat and running a 4.3 at the combine, that's the only reason why he went to a 2nd-round pick. He was a project. But AJ Brown, who was at Ole Miss, opposite of him, was better than him. We took him over him. Terry McLaurin at Ohio State, we took him over him. Debo Samuel for the San Francisco 49ers, we took N'Keal Harry over him. So that's 3 receivers. 4, forgot DK, 4 receivers we took N'Keal Harry over. That, Debo Samuel, he's not a Pro Bowl and all that stuff, but he's still a pretty good wide receiver, especially for what the 49ers do. And we took N'Keal Harry over that. So, I mean, when it comes to wide receivers, I mean, do I need to go down the list? Like, Aaron Dobson, y'all don't know him. Josh Boyce, y'all don't know him. Who was the other boy from North Carolina? It might have been Boyce. It might have been Boyce. But look, man. Wide receivers, I'm good on drafting. I give up. I've given up on drafting wide receivers. Bill Belichick, if there's one thing that you do not do well, it is developing and drafting wide receivers, because our track record shows the last good wide receiver we drafted was Julian Edelman, and that was a quarterback in the 7th round. We just got lucky with that. Before that, Deion Branch, David Gibbons, early 2000s. Everybody else has been in and out the league. What's the boy from New Orleans? Austin Carr. We had him as an undrafted free agent, and you can go back on the channel. I said I like Austin Carr. Got rid of him. Hey, y'all know that tight end in Seattle, Jacob Hollister? He catches a few touchdowns here and there. Yeah, the Patriots had him, and I said years ago that the Patriots should try to keep him, and they did it. Now look at him in Seattle, doing pretty well. Russell Wilson. Hey, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. We have a tight end problem. Jacob Hollister could have been that fix. We have a wide receiver problem. Austin Carr could have helped. Jacoby Myers, undrafted, is better than our 1st-round pick. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. N'Keal Harry, dog, you've been doing a lot of talking, and I ain't trying to bash N'Keal Harry right now. He seems like a good guy. He never really said anything wrong, but I'm gonna need some production out of you, bro. Like, we're gonna need some production, man. So hopefully we sign Allen Robinson out of free agency, decent receiver, and then quarterback wise, I don't know who to get in the draft. If it ain't Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, I don't trust nobody else in the draft. Hey, man. Matt Stafford, Carson Wentz, bump it. It is what it is. Hey, man. Hey, you might have to go ahead and get Troy Smith or Tyrod Taylor. Who knows? We got to do better. We got to do better. But, yeah, man, appreciate y'all coming through for this stream, man. The Bills pretty much destroyed us, bro. Like, they came in. It felt like that really felt like the end of the dynasty. That really felt like the end of the dynasty. I was just like, you know what? That was the final nail in the coffin where it actually sunk into me that we're trash. Like, I've been saying it all year, but watching that game, I was just like, dang. This is what Washington fans had to go through all those years. This is what Ravens fans had to go through pre-Flacco or end of Flacco. This is what Jaguar fans go through on a basis. This is what Cleveland had to go through before Baker. Like this is bad. And I said this earlier in the year, and I'm gonna wrap it up after this. I say, you know what? Now I see why a lot of people have been angry. Your team is trash. When you don't have a quarterback, your team trash, your NFL team trash, you're just angry all the time. Because I find myself getting angry at the smallest stuff recently. Like, I dropped something and I dropped my controller, my PS5 controller, and I got angry. I ain't never happened that before. I was like legitimately pissed. Like I wanted to punch something. I wanted to punch a hole in the wall or something. And it had nothing to do with me dropping the controller. I was just like, you know what? I'm just angry all the time. It's just angry. Like the little stuff pisses you off when your team doing bad. And I blame the Patriots. I've been happy all my life. This is the first year I've been really angry. And it's been the Patriots. But I'm going to hit y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate you, Juju, Engraven. Everybody came through the stream. Love y'all. Take it easy, man. Take care of your mental health. And also, happy 2021. 2020 is coming to an end. By the way, record this podcast. I'm actually about to work out before we record the podcast. Check out Engraven's podcast. Check out Juju's channel. Catch you next time, y'all. Peace.